What's going on, guys? Jada Black here. Salute to everyone that's tuning in. I want to talk about actor Anthony Anderson. Now, the last time I spoke about him on this channel was a couple of years ago when he divorced his wife. They were divorced for a long time. They separated. But now Anthony Anderson has been in the news recently due to a relationship that he's gotten himself into with a woman by the name of Rocsi Diaz. Now, for those of you who remember 106 in Park, she and Terrence Jaye were hosts of the show. They had replaced AJ and Free, right? And they had they were there for a while with each other, but then it ended on some tension between the two. But she has gone on to do her own thing, and she's gotten caught up in some scandals, especially with Lisa Ray. Now, Lisa Ray to this day still continues to speak about how Rocsi Diaz tried to come between her and her husband. She seemed more upset at Roxy than she is at her husband at the time. I believe they separated out there in Turks and Caicos, right? And Roxy was trying to insert herself into that dynamic. That was right around the time I think she was a part of 106 in Park. But now, years later, she is in a relationship with Anthony Anderson, and they're both getting equally cooked online. Not only is she getting cooked for her past of being a side chick, he's getting called out for inappropriate behavior. If you don't believe me, you can go look it up on X or Twitter and you'll see it. He's being called out for being a pervert. Now, again, I'm not going to go into detail with that. I just want to discuss this couple and the fact that I don't think this is going to last very long. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to point to a video clip I came across. I came across this video clip from his page, actually. This was at the NBA All-Star Game in Los Angeles. As you see, there's Chris Tucker there. That is him, and that is Anthony Anderson, and that is Rocsi Diaz. Now, I want y'all to pay attention to Roxy and the eye roll that she's going to give. You see that? Yo, like, what, did she not want to take the picture? Does she not want to be there with Anthony Anderson? Because that was a very, like, I want people to know that I'm frustrated. What are you frustrated about? Is it the fact that this relationship is getting both of y'all absolutely cooked online? He's getting cooked for allegations and she's getting cooked for being a side chick in her past, right? Now, again, with Anthony Anderson, these are allegations. That's why I'm not going to go into detail about allegations. But let's play this clip again so y'all really get the gist. And again, I have other pictures. Let me show y'all this from Twitter. People are talking about this picture as well. You see him smiling and she isn't, right? He's more happy to be with her than she is with him. It's almost like he was her last sort of pick, right? Because he admitted it. Anthony Anderson admitted that he was in the friend zone for years while he was married, by the way. Okay. Of course you're supposed to be in the friend zone if you're married, but anyway, what do I know, right? But you say to yourself, why would Rocsi Diaz, a woman who probably thinks that she can do better, is with Anthony Anderson now if they've been friends for so long? Because she's been in relationships. Eddie Murphy, I believe the singer Joe, right? Like, she's dealt with men in the industry. She's not new to this. Now, when I look at a guy like Anthony Anderson, a guy who has been in the movie industry for a long time, I like Anthony Anderson in a lot of stuff that he's been in. Most recently, he was in Blackish. I find him to be entertaining in a lot of the things that I've seen him do. Right. So when you have these allegations coming out of nowhere, because I did not know about them. Now that he's dating Roxy is very interesting to me. It's almost as if he went from having the dark-skinned wife that he was married to being with the lighter complected South American Roxy. Right. Because again, I told y'all I spoke about his divorce. As a matter of fact, I'll put that video in the description box. And I've heard rumors about his ex-wife and her behavior. And so, but I'll just leave it at that. The same thing with Anthony Anderson. How come these things are being, now, if they were being said before, I did not know about it. But now that him and Roxy are together, now I'm seeing these things said about him. It makes you wonder. I'm not saying that they're false. I'm not saying that they're true. But him now getting into this relationship with a woman, right, who looks very different than his wife, a woman who has her own past in the industry, is bringing out some of the worst opinions. Some of the worst opinions, right? You see comments where people are saying that she got plastic surgery and a boob job. People are making fun of the fact that they feel like she's out of his league. How is she out of his league? Have you seen the men that she's dated? She don't date men for looks. She date men for their generational wealth or their fame. She don't date men based off of those things, right? She's a social climber. She looks to deal with men who socially are higher than she is. But she has a past, and that past is being brought up everywhere. Lisa Ray still can't stop talking about it. You could tell Lisa Ray holds a grudge, and I understand. You got to, you with this guy, who's powerful and out there in Turks and Caicos, and next day, you have this younger woman who comes out of nowhere and is trying to take your spot. And Lisa Ray to this day is still bothered by this, even though this happened in the early to mid 2000s. I think it happened between like 2008, 2009. Now, Lisa Ray can say that she's not bothered by her, but you still talked about it. So obviously you're bothered by it. You see, Roxy is the type of woman who is going to hop from social situation to social situation. But when you see this, and I don't think people should ignore this. I don't think people should overlook this, because she's giving off the energy of a woman who's upset, who feels some type of way, but she's not going to verbalize it. She's going to deal with him, but for how long? And you look at the comments on this post, and people are saying that this relationship is not going to last very long, right? Let's go over it again. Now, people are going to say, well, no, she was upset at the person who wanted them to take a picture. Why would you be upset? You're sitting front row. You're sitting front row at an event. That's what happens when you're on front row. Chris Tucker and his son took a picture. Why? And she just seemed very annoyed. She just seemed very annoyed. Is she annoyed because of all the extra attention her past has been getting? Because they've been digging up things about her and things said about her and the men that she's dealt with. And also what's being said about Anthony Anderson, but it hasn't stopped his career. Whatever they're trying to put on him is not working, because he continues to get work in Hollywood. I'm not saying he should be canceled, because again, I don't know much about those particular allegations. No one sent me anything. No one has told me about this. Not to say I'm oblivious or ignoring it. It's just the fact that he's continued to work in Hollywood. He has not been canceled. So obviously what's going on is just an internet thing. And that I'm going to go from that standpoint, that it hasn't been put out there, or maybe it's been buried. I don't know. It's so easy to get black men caught up in these things. I'm surprised that they haven't made a bigger deal about it. And as far as Roxy, I want y'all to tell me, how long do y'all think this is going to last? Do y'all think she's using him, to be noticed, to be able to go to events and be recognized? But the more you look at him, the more it looks like he's happier to be with her than she is to be with him. It's almost like she's 44 now. She don't have the options she used to. So why not take him out the friend zone? Why not take him out the friend zone? What else does she have going on, right? Why not get into a relationship with him? He's single now, I guess, for her. It kind of reminds me of Karrueche. Karrueche and Dion are dating, right? And Karrueche and Dion said that, you know what? Karrueche could have left when my medical situation wasn't the best, my health wasn't the best, but she chose to stay, right? It's because Karrueche wants a ring and she wants to prove to Dion that she can be his next wife. Maybe Roxy's at that point to where she's ready to prove that she's ready to be a wife. I don't know. I don't think Anthony's looking to get married again. That was a very pricey divorce he went through. He went through a very pricey divorce. I think he's still dealing with financially. I don't think he's looking to marry. So I would definitely be interested to see how long this relationship lasts, because there are people who think that this relationship is not going to last much longer. Because one thing I've noticed, right? When it gets close to spring, relationships fall apart. Spring and summer, you see a lot of relationships fall apart. You see a lot of women leave relationships between the spring and the summer. You want to know why? It's because that's usually the time when they can fly out and go on vacations. That's usually when women want to be out here single, so they can have men coming at them and promising them things and taking them on trips. That's usually when they live their, if they have one, soft life, more so in the spring and summer, and then they'll wait till like the winter to be in a relationship, fall, winter to be in a relationship. But once spring and summer come across and they don't want to be held down in some relationship or feel like they're being held down in some relationship, that's usually when you see, these relationships fall apart. So let me know what y'all think of this relationship in the comment section below. Make sure y'all like this video, hype this video, share this video, follow me on all my social media platforms, and I'll see y'all next one.